Hey, what's up guys, I'm Praetorian and welcome back to HOI IV as we are playing our Japanese finale episode. So I know that a lot of people who aren't watching this particular series will come to the finale episode to see what we're going to be doing next. I will say two things before we jump into this episode. First of all, for those of you who are waiting for that final Call of War video, you may have noticed it didn't come out this week, despite the fact that it is done. That is because the developers did want me to wait until Friday or Saturday to put it out, since I didn't get it done by that Sunday. So the video is going to be out here on Friday afternoon, guys. So probably about somewhere around 1-2 o'clock Mountain Time is when I'm planning to put it out. So that will be the final Call of War video. And that'll be the end of that sponsored series. And then the other thing I'd like to mention here in the beginning is that you may have noticed, and maybe you didn't, that the next series is already started, because I'm putting that out before this video, and that is with a game called Strategic Mine Blitzkrieg. And that's a World War II turn-based strategy game, and I'll talk about it a little bit more at the end of this video here. But we've played two of the previous games by that developer. That is also the game where I did the voiceover work for, that I'd mentioned earlier in this series that I've been working on. So that is the game that I was working on voiceover work for. So we're going to be doing a series with that. We're going to be doing something else as well here in a few weeks, but that's the main thing that we're going to be doing right now. So I guess some of you guys would take off now because you'll know that that's what we're currently working on. For the channel. That's going to be our current campaign for strategy game wise. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. I guess I should also show that I have named the modern tanks based on the suggestion of one of our patrons. Actually, he actually requested that I use this name for 40 width infantry divisions, but we never did because we never had the 40 width infantry divisions. So I told him I would do it for this one here, the modern tanks, since we needed a name for him. And this is Fumetsu. Which he said kind of translates to immortal. So pretty cool little name here for our modern tanks. And we're going to go and deploy these guys into that training army. They'll be here training up and getting some of the equipment. We still never got it done, unfortunately. It is what it is. But let's go ahead and get these units moving to smarter attacks. I don't want them attacking that way. What we're going to do, in fact, is let's just pull the purple army off of this and have the blue army cover like all up along this frontier, with the intention of probably not advancing much, with the exception of like where it's like, you know, wide open right here. We'll attack there, but other than that, not gonna do too many attacks. You know, this one here would be really easy, but this is really not that important, frankly. It's just not important at all that we get wins here, because it's not American core territory. And obviously this is into Canada, so it's just not going to help us out much. So let's go ahead and kind of, we have the AI in control of this, obviously, but let's go ahead and have these guys start pushing forward. I'm going to try and cut off some divisions here where we can. Let's see what else we can do with their units. I think we're already going over there, aren't we? Yep. All right, excellent. Got a lot of units there. We have a atomic weapon we could use, and that would probably be the best place to use it, but we've already won here. And I was just saying because they have the 8 units there, so it'd be maximum effect. But yeah, I guess this is good. I've already moved the planes as close as I can get them. I moved them into all the closer air bases. And yeah, we're actually still losing here despite us helping out here, so that's surprising. Cuba's capitulated. Remember, the British attacked him there. They'll probably still attack here. Well, maybe not. So yeah, the British will get that in the peace treaty, since they're the only ones that really played a role in that. We do have the AI controlling these fronts here, just trying to get her done. We got the logistic company 4. Again, nothing we do right here matters, so I'll just grab something. And I did move the submarines to start sinking convoys and stuff over there. Alright, so does the blue army not have a line anymore? Or are they just off of their line? Looks like they might just be off of their line. That's the reason why these guys here, they're attacking. Alright. Just continue pushing forward all along the front. We might need to force these guys here to move. I'd love to get these guys here cut off. This is just so foolish, the way the AI does this. Let's attack with these guys for the purpose of locking them down. Just until we can get here. And when does this guy leave here? 8 hours, so we'll just let him leave. Oh, maybe not. Alright, so we'll have to attack across there then, whatever. But once we get the win here, that'll cut these divisions off, and then we can get those destroyed. Maybe. It looks like this is we're gonna have to attack here to stop those guys. There we go. Excellent. So we can go ahead and stop that. And now we're just gonna try and get all these troops here wiped out. Excuse me. Let's go kill these units here, and that'll be 9 more divisions cut off and destroyed. Before we actually win, we've got to make sure we check the casualties. We're at 6-7%. That's gonna change quickly though once the British take over Washington. So yeah, we're sinking convoys throughout here. I guess we don't really need to check all that. But what is this about? Unfulfilled import request. We don't really need oil anymore now that we're invading into Texas. Probably be good on oil. I could even probably tick back on the oil here that we're trading for. And that'll allow us to focus more on building stuff, which we're trying to get the stuff here built. Frankly, I probably don't need any of this any longer. So let's actually... We'll keep some of the stuff building, I suppose, but yeah, I think we're going to tick this down a bit. I don't think this is necessary any longer. So we'll let them kind of finish up some of the stuff they're already working on. We also have these units here, which I completely forgot about. I guess we can go ahead and try and wrap this up. Finish up these attacks here. Try and get these guys destroyed. Doesn't look like we're having much success there. Are we attacking across a river? It's hard to tell. Yeah, I can't really see if there's... We might be getting a river penalty, but we're clearly not winning, so we'll just stop that attack. Alright. So again, if we see any large number of units anywhere, then we will make use of that atomic weapon that we have. Might as well. Let's have one of these guys go here instead of whatever he was doing. We'll have him support that attack so that we can get the win there. Attacking across river, super foolish. Here we got another... foolish attack across river. I might not be able to stop him, so we'll actually go up here just to make sure he doesn't continue that attack. Alright. And making good, solid progress. It does look like we can grab that province. And yeah, we'll maybe connect our fronts up here with the, with the Alaskan front, I suppose. Because it looks like, yeah, there's nobody here to really stop us from doing so. Again, this does take a long time to move into all these areas here. And then he'll go that way. All right, and just, we just can't stop these across the river attacks, man. It's so difficult to stop the AI from doing them. And I feel like as much as the AI has been improved, that's just the one thing, if they can just improve that one aspect, for me, I feel like that'll be big towards helping the AI out. Because those river penalties are just so big. They're really devastating. So we're going to try and get as far over as we can so that we can justify taking all this territory. And we're not even going to bother with doing another cipher because I don't think there's anybody else to do any damn ways. We did lose 3 submarines there, damn. Alright, that's unfortunate. You can see that Washington, D.C. is not taken yet, but Philadelphia, New York, and Boston are. So those are big. Let's take a look and see how much longer. 72%, and we still haven't annexed these guys yet. This is a real shame, man, that I haven't been able to get this done. I kind of feel like... I almost feel like they're not getting the equipment that I'm sending them. No, they're not. Yeah, the Lend-Lease is not working with these guys. We have sent Lend-Lease multiple times, and remember I was canceling it and it wasn't working and they never send it. They keep saying that the next delivery here, I mean, if we were to let it play, will it actually deliver? Because it sure doesn't seem like it, guys. Let's see if that day ticks over to 15 days. All right, it says it's going to deliver. We'll see. But I kind of feel like that it's not working. That for whatever reason, they're not getting that equipment I'm trying to send them. Because, I would really like to get at least them annexed. I know that there's no way we're going to get... Yeah, we can't get them annexed. 1435, we don't have the time, unfortunately. And good God, man. I'm like trying to do everything I can to avoid the casualties that we take from attacking across rivers here. But the game is like fighting me on this. The AI is just like set on attacking across rivers. Alright, so let's go and have him go after New Orleans. All this guy here is going to go up this way. You guys can kind of push forward here. Does the Green Army not have? Yeah, they have an order. They're just not moving. We got the Construction 5. Let's go after Excavation again. Nothing we do is really matters at this point. we'll just leave all the other stuff there because, again, it just doesn't matter now. We're going to continue pushing forward here. Might as well if there's nobody here to stop us. And these guys, yeah, they're already pushing down there. Excellent. And there are still American troops here trying to stop us. God damn it. I hate when that shit happens like that. Just go here, man. And I accidentally don't realize I have a unit selected. Let's go and get across there. And we don't have the Blue Army in control of any of that, any of those attacks. Just kind of controlling them ourselves. Looks like we already won there. He attacked across the river to get the win. Look at, they actually have a tank unit. Americans haven't had very many tanks. It's just not been an issue. And Washington is taken, so let's take a look and see where they're at here. They're currently at 83% towards capitulation. Their war support is still very, very high. If we were to look at that real quick, it's still at 100%, despite the fact that you got negative 29.7% from the war heroes being killed. I feel like they really need to change up the way this works, because war support is very often like extremely difficult to tick down if they're in a defensive conflict, which kind of defeats the purpose of the mechanic in a way. Alright, so yeah, they do have their main fleet over here, which we have not engaged. I don't really want to put my main fleet over there either. I don't really see any purpose to it. Let's go and attack them this way. I'll save that dude. Alright, so just kind of pushing forward. Let's go and make sure all these units are going this way so we actually get the victory. A lot of across the river attacks that are just devastating. This one we'll do just because he's so weak, and I'll just make sure we don't attack across the river. Again, it feels like that's what I'm mainly doing here, is just stopping the AI from doing the really, really dumb attacks across the river they can't win. Maybe have them go this way instead. Oh, Lord. Oops. Trying to get these guys selected. So we'll go that way. And I don't know if there's any way other than this way to attack where you don't get the river penalty, so we'll do it that way. Those guys did lose attacking there. Just try and fix issues where we can. Yeah, we're just gonna send both those guys, see if we can't get behind them. Currently that guy's defending, but we can still send him off to attack over this way. And let's see what we can do here. So these guys are gonna attack this way. Well, he's going towards New Orleans. So we're gonna try and get all the way across Mississippi here if we can, and into Alabama. I don't know, they only got one province left to get to be able to grab that province. It looks like one of their carriers were sunk. I don't know if our submarine got it. Sunk by I-17. It seems like one of ours. Yes, that is definitely one of ours. There's nobody else here that could have done it. So we were able to sink the part of the fleet, their carrier, with their submarine. Excellent. Alright, so all that does contribute to the war participation. And let's go and push forward here around this guy. Let's have it. And he'll go this way while these two will come up this way. Grab these provinces for us. And it's like, yeah, we're continuing just kind of pushing forward, taking territory. Again, let's just go and make sure we don't miss this, you know, them capitulating. 86% right now. I want to make sure that we're able to look at those casualties as close to the end of the war as possible. Again, we'll just kind of focus fire on, if we're going to attack across the river, then let's do it with overwhelming force, you know what I mean? It's the only way to really avoid. Let's see if we could do, okay, so that's not going to work. Instead, let's go here, I guess. I'm just trying to stop the silly attacks when I can. And this is why I don't put the AI in control, because it's like the majority of attacks are failures. So this is, if anybody wonders why, this is why. Because I feel like I spend more time like fixing the attacks than I you know, save sometimes by having them in control. Because the whole purpose is to make things go quicker. But I just can't tolerate the high casualties, man. Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot we were going to try and go all the way across here. Well, we can send one bike up this way. Yeah, just the high casualties, man, just bother me. Hurry up and get that guy destroyed. Should be an easy attack there. And I'm surprised they're actually in the fight this long. I would expect them to have capitulated by now. I guess Chicago here is worth quite a bit of points. You know, it's 30 points, so that kind of explains it. Also, I suppose, yeah, I mean, that's the main victory points they have still. I mean, there's still a few out there, but overall not many. So yeah, I mean, like, just silliness, man. Silliness. Yeah, you know what, guys? Let's go and stop this madness. I'm trying to, like, keep casualties low, and or as low as possible. And I feel like they did what they needed to do. They pushed us forward a little bit quicker. Now let's take over, so we can kind of reduce the amount of casualties that we're taking here, because this is getting kind of ridiculous. It seems like every other attack is something really, really silly. So yeah, we'll just go and take control, and should go a little bit smoother. We kind of got to let some of these guys get the organization back up, because they're exhausted just a bit. Undo the attack there, and let's go and grab that province. Nobody defending across here, so yeah, we'll do that across the river attack. That feels safe. And if we won here and here, then we'd cut those divisions off there. And let's go push forward here. I don't know if there are any units that are getting left behind. Doesn't look like it. Seems like all of our army is fine. I've been letting the blue army trying to cover this here. The purple army is actually covering a lot of it. So let's go ahead and stop that. I wanted the blue army to kind of cover this for us, so the purple army can just focus on pushing forward for the most part. Because I don't really care about winning in that Canadian territory. Alright, we can get across the river without having to fight anybody there, so we will. And let's see what else we can do. We'll bring these guys up over here, because they are attacking us there. Trying to get that province there. And I don't know if somebody will need to take Chicago to win. It's 92% right now. But again, I'm actually surprised that they stayed in the conflict this long. But you know what? If we don't take this center territory, then that'll be good for the peace treaty, which you guys will see why. What I'm looking to do for the peace treaty, I think would be kind of cool if we didn't actually take that territory. Then there'd be a reason for me to do what I'm going to do. Let's just start taking provinces now on attacks that are actually going to win. Looks like we might have some light tank strength problems, perhaps. So it seems like, yeah, it seems like we are lacking support equipment. That's right, I do remember that. Having some support equipment problems. We'll cut these divisions off here if we get that win there. These guys were attacking into an undefended province across the river, but that province is no longer undefended. Let's go and attack over this way now. Should be able to get a win there. Alright, trying to cut these divisions off here. Both sides are moving very quickly. So capitulation here is going to be soon at 95% now. We definitely have to watch that. Again, I want to see the end of the conflict, so I'm trying to pay careful attention to it. So these divisions are cut off. Let's try and attack them where we don't attack cross rivers if we can. And let's also send that bike unit across the river here, because I don't think there's anybody coming yet. They're too busy attacking us. So I know we just took a couple victory points here, so that's going to tick us pretty close. Little Rock's worth 1, so not much. Ecuador has capitulated. Okay, I guess there's just that one little unit there, so our units here, this army, we'll just move them out of this terrible supply zone. Move them over here where we built that port up. And we also built the infrastructure a bit, so hopefully shouldn't have any supply issues there, taking unnecessary casualties due to attrition. So we did take this territory here. So again, we'll go ahead and start pushing forward and get some of this undefended territory. But that's just not very important. Well, if we're going to attack, we should probably not attack across the river. See, their tank units don't have any damn strength. We never did use our atomic bomb. Could drop one on Chicago, I suppose. So let's do that, because that might, it's probably not going to help much. And then I'm looking for other, oh, here we go. Oh, nope. Right there, maybe? Yeah, that'd be a good spot, I guess. That's the most units I'm seeing. There's 4 units there, so we'll drop it there. So drop in those 2 locations, and you see it's a loss here for right now. Send one more unit in there. It should be a win now. And then we should have dropped on Chicago as well, damaging all their stuff there. And let's just, you can see it's impacting a little bit, but yeah, not much. Losing the pride of the fleet was big. That's negative 10%. So let's take a look and see how much further they are. That's 96%. That's close enough for us to go ahead and take a look at the casualties, guys. Because, yeah, I don't think we'll be able to look at it otherwise. So our total casualties here, 730,000. 506,000 from the Americans. Venezuela, 103,000. Quite a few casualties. They took pretty heavy losses. Germany, only 1.5 million, which really isn't much for the AI. But it didn't help much in this conflict once it... that really, I guess, didn't help much in the conflict against the Americans at all. The British, 4.09 million casualties, so quite a few. And this is the rest. We'll just kind of scroll down here. Their side, Chile, 693,000. We killed 221. Colombia, let's see, we did 304,000 of the 1 million total casualties. Mexico, we did 749,000 of the 1.13 million. United States has 12.65 million casualties, and we did 10 million of that, guys. So yeah, I mean, we killed a lot of Americans. The Cubans, we killed 587,000 Cubans, despite the fact that we didn't actually invade them. So we did play a huge role in defeating them. And then the Haitians, we killed 344,000. So even though we didn't invade those two, they sent so many troops over here to Central America that we ended up fighting them quite a bit. So that'll be the last time I try and peek in there. That's the casualties, guys. That's what we'll go on. We actually are just barely winning on there, despite having just dropped that nuke. Let's go and attack over this way, try and get these damn victory points. So we still need to gut these guys off here. Having a little bit of difficulty doing that because of these rivers, man. There's so many rivers. We are, you know, Mississippi, man. So you got those rivers you got to contend with. Let's go ahead and finish up this. See if we can't get there first anyway. And then have all these guys go across here. And maybe we'll be able to cut them off somewhere here. Probably not. Again, the war is going to end here in moments. It does look like we did lose in Springfield, unfortunately. See if we can't get a win there. Yep. We'll attack. You can see the tanks are just so weak, man. Tanks are not doing well right now. And I guess we'll grab that province there. Support that. Maybe cut that one division off there. Looks like we wrapped up all those other divisions that we did cut off. They've all been destroyed. Alright, so these guys here, we'll win there. That'll be an easy win. We don't need to send all these divisions that way. We'll just send just the bike units there. Send the rest of these guys over here so we can get these troops cut off. So we can destroy them. And let's see if we can't grab that. Somebody's got to be able to get there first, hopefully. I think we grabbed this province from the British who were trying to get it. Looks like we didn't get that one. Alright. So let's go and send all the troops that are here over to this other front. It looks like I did that wrong. There we go. Excellent. I'm gonna delete these. And I haven't really been managing the fronts much. As you can see, we got like three armies on one front here. We could really pull the blue army back on this one. It's unnecessary. Oh, come on. And then pull these guys up here. All right, and there's a lot of blue army to cover that front a little bit more. Really, we should stretch them all up that way, but I'm just not going to because it doesn't matter. So how much closer until we get these guys? Anytime. It does feel like it's just not working, man. I don't think it's working, guys. I think this is the reason why it's taken so long. Yeah. Yep. It's just not been working. So that explains this whole time. I've been trying to send them equipment, and every time I've been having like a bug and stuff. It was clearly a bug. Because it's saying it's going to send it to them and it doesn't. So yeah, that's the reason why. That's the reason why we haven't annexed them yet. That's a pain, man. That's irritating. But whatever. There's not much I can do about it, guys. And unfortunately, you know, it's a bug. It happens, guys. It happens. So these are all cross-river attacks. I'm trying to avoid those if we can. We'll go across here though, because I don't think there's anybody there defending, so might as well. And just looking for other easy attacks that aren't cross rivers. Start attacking, just kind of pushing forward and grabbing this damn territory. And we can attack across here, avoiding the river. And we are entering into July. Moving towards Chicago. Again, I don't think we'll have to take Chicago to get the win here. I don't expect so. So should be in a position to start attacking these guys now. I think here allows us to wait for all those guys to move. But yeah, let's go ahead and attack. Well, that's across the river, but whatever. We're just going to let them attack across the river. It's fine. Taking some heavy attrition here, guys. Let's go and take this guy, send him up there with the light tank. The other two will come down this way, lock those units down. And we're even going to attack across the river in this particular case. We should be able to get the wind and then attack from here. As soon as we get that done, right there. Alright, so just looking for more provinces we can attack into. Get some easy wins. And looks like we failed some of these attacks, because yeah, these guys are looking kind of weak. It's going to go this way. And we're going to attack this way as well. Alright, so just about done, guys. Feel like they should capitulate here in mere moments. If we were to look at this, they are 99%. Yeah. Very, very, very soon, guys. Did our casualties go up anymore? No, we're still only 10 million. That's all we've done for them. Let's go ahead and move these guys. Oops. Wanted them to go that way. Alright, so now let's finish this off here. Cutting those units off. They got all messed up. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Looks like this front has messed some things up. Let's go and delete all that. Always happens when you have the two factions. And there we go. Excellent. So we've gotten the peace treaty, guys. Alright, so the way we're going to do this is we are going to, remember, we do have that mod installed, so we can completely control peace treaty. You see that we have 3,084 points compared to the 1,066 of the British. So we have so much more points, 825 of the Germans. So I mean, yeah, we would be able to dominate this treaty, even if we were using the regular peace system. So let's go and start with our own territory. So we're going to annex, obviously, the Pacific West Coast here. Definitely gonna make sure we get that, but we're gonna go a bit further than that, of course, and grab all this territory as well, all the way up to Texas. That's where I feel like would be a good stopping point. Like right here is probably good. Could go a little bit further, try and take over New Orleans. I guess you would want to, like the key port that New Orleans is on the Gulf of Mexico. So I suppose that makes sense. I suppose we could do it like this. This is a good natural stopping point here, I suppose. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and have that in our hands, where we're directly annexing it, because that's all territory we occupied. So I feel like that's rightfully ours. So with the Mexicans, we're going to take their territory too. Remember, we're annexing, guys. That's what we're doing in this campaign. So it's all about taking their territory. We didn't really do much puppeting. I don't think we did any puppeting. First time I think I've ever done that before, which did result in a kind of a cool looking map, you know, where we, you know, directly control everything, which is pretty cool. So we still got points. As far as Colombia goes, we're gonna give that to Venezuela. I think that would be fair. I want to say, oh nope, I was gonna say I want to say that's all we needed to do, but I forgot about Alaska. So let's go and give ourselves the coast here. That was always in Canadian hands. They never lost it, so I feel like we can't rightfully take it, even though it's on our side. Now, we would probably do negotiations to have it, but again, the Canadians kept that. It's the seat of their government now. So I just don't feel like we can take that from them. We did run out of points here, so we're going to have to stop taking territory briefly. I don't know that they ever lost that either. Why is it so expensive? You know, we never took that. I think that was still in American hands, though, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I don't think they ever got control of it. I'm not entirely sure, though. Yeah, I'm not sure. But that was a lot of points, and that's what was messing us up there. Let's just take here for now, and yeah, you can see that it's very expensive, any ones we never actually occupied. So that'll probably be it. I guess we could take these islands here. Oh, nope, we can't take that either. That means we have really exhausted our points. So let's go ahead and end our turn. And then we're going to pass a few times so that we can continue doing stuff. We're going to do all of our own stuff first, guys. And then we'll do stuff for everybody else. So again, we should take up to like right. Oh, this is probably not going to look. Yeah. All right, it's going to have to look this way. Because any of this, I think, would be strange. Yeah, I just feel like that doesn't look right. I mean, I guess you could take this one here. You know what? We'll take, yeah. I think we'll take the northeastern Canada province. I think that's fitting. It'd be kind of odd, but it's going to be odd no matter what anyway. So I think we'd take that one so that we'd have some ports over here. Yeah, I feel like this looks fine map-wise. We'll take that. I know that it's going to be looking kind of odd, but it's fine. All right, so that's it for us, I want to say, outside of, oh yeah, taking some little islands here and taking the stuff from the Americans, all the islands. We never took all those that we rightfully claim now, because we did take control of all those. Let's go and grab Phoenix Islands. Is there any other? Yes, 2 islands. Okay, so we're going to grab that. And then I think that's all of them. All right, fantastico. So let's go ahead and do Venezuela next. So Venezuela is going to be taking control of all of Colombia. I think that's rightfully theirs. They won there. As far as Ecuador and Peru, I suppose the Venezuelans did conquer Ecuador and a bit of this territory in Peru. So I guess they could take that right there. But I'm not sure who to give this to other than just puppeting them. But frankly, that's a problem, man. Huh. I'm not entirely sure how to deal with this, the rest of this territory, guys. Because giving it to Brazil would look really strange. But technically the Axis won here or nobody won here. Yeah, I mean, it's... Well, you know what? I don't know who won here in Peru. I don't remember. I don't think anybody defeated Chile, though. Uruguay rightfully goes to Brazil. So I feel like that does need to be given to them. So we will give that to them. I don't think I passed them yet. Hopefully not. Maybe I did. Oh, right there. All right, so we're going to give them Brazil. I think that's rightfully theirs. I suppose we could give them one little patch of territory here. Just give them that. And then create like a little Peruvian puppet here. Or even give all this to Chile and like... I don't know if they'd like that, but that'd be have Chile go stay in their kind of snaky borders and have them go all the way up the coast. That'd be kind of cool. I kind of want to do that, actually. Let's do that. We do have to go back to ourselves. And let's puppet Chile. All right, so we'll do that. And see what else we need to do. So we need to give that territory, give Haiti up to the Dominican Republic. All right, there's the Dominican Republic. Let's go ahead and give them Haiti. We could also give them the territory here. I feel like that would be, I think it's rightfully theirs, man. Let's give them Puerto Rico. That's all we'll give them, though. Then I think the British, they rightfully took over Cuba. So we'll give the British all of Cuba. And I think that's it. So, I mean, here in the Caribbean, obviously. So let's go ahead and get the British elected. You'd think they would be up at the top. Apparently not. So we gotta find them. There they are. So let's give them Cuba. So we knew we wanted to give them Cuba. We're also gonna give them, I mean, we could give this to Canada, I suppose. And I suppose we could give all this territory to Canada. Yeah, I guess we'll let Canada exist still. I don't really know that that's going to be an option, actually, because it seems like because they capitulated. Let me just see here if I can find them. But I don't know if there is a Canada anymore. And because we can't... Yeah, because we can't create puppets. Yeah, that's not an option. Because we can't create puppets for the AI using this mod. I'm going to scroll through it one more time, but I'm pretty sure Canada's gone. And because we can't create a puppet using this mod, that means that we wouldn't be able to create them and then give them to the British. That's not an option. It looks like we are out of points, by the way. Well over out of points, apparently. So we might need to undo something. Whatever the last thing we did, which I think was Cuba. Nope, looks like there's more we need to undo. Alright, I did not realize we ran out of points there. So let's just try and cancel, I think, the Puerto Rico one. Was Puerto Rico in British hands? It might have been in British hands. I don't actually know who was occupying that. I was thinking that nobody had it, but let's go ahead and end our turn. And instead of giving that to them, we could give that to the British. Yeah, I think that would... I think it is probably rightfully theirs. So yeah, 22 points. I think they were occupying that. All right, so we'll give them Cuba as well. And yeah, since there's no Canada, we're just going to have them annex it, which means we will be taking that one Canadian island over there. I'm not giving that to the British. I don't see the Japanese allowing that to happen. So yeah, we're just going to give all this territory to the British in that case. So we'll give all this to them, and they're going to get 13 colonies again. Take over the American East Coast, and we did run out of points. I need to pass a couple times, clearly. because we should have been able to do this. Oh, this got 688 points. That explains it. Since they never occupied that. All right. Well, we'll do what we can here with the points that we got, and then we'll do some passing. All right. So let's go ahead and enter turn, and then let's just pass a bunch. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Did I not give that to the right country? I feel like I didn't. I feel like that was not given to the right country. Oh, wow. I had Sri Lanka selected. Sri Lanka just got all these provinces. Oh my god, guys. My bad, guys. I'll have to fix that. That was dumb. Man, I don't know how I misclicked. How I selected them instead of the damn English. Damn. Alright, so we just gave Sri Lanka all this, and as soon as I saw the color, I was like, that's not right. Shit, guys. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. I apologize. Yeah. I just clicked on the wrong flag, I suppose, man. Yeah, I don't even know how that happened. But whatever. We'll just have to fix it. I have to fix it in the console, I suppose, which is kind of a pain in the butt, honestly. So, yeah, because I don't know Sri Lanka. Well, I guess we don't need to know Sri Lanka's code to fix that. Alright, so they didn't completely gain control of Alabama. But we will give them... So what I'm trying to do here, guys, is a man in the high castle situation. Now, man in the high castle, Japan had the Pacific coast, and they're called like the Pacific States or something like that. And then the Germans had control of much of America. And then in the middle, including areas like Colorado, where I live, they had a buffer zone. I don't remember, the neutral zone, I think is what it's called. And so that's what I'm trying to do here. Now, obviously, we did more of the work in this case, and Germany's not even involved in this, so they don't get nothing. In addition, Japan did most of the work. So Japan's going to take, you know, it's basically, we're the Germany of this scenario, taking over most of America, while the British are the Japanese of this scenario, where they're taking just the coastline here, the east coast in this case, and then we're going to have a buffer zone here in the middle. That's what I want to do. I want a buffer zone right here. So... in order to do that, trying to find good looking borders here. And if we take this for the English, then it's kind of weird. The Florida causes a little problem here too, but I feel like it's not as bad as, because I feel like they got to have a port, man. And there's no point in having a buffer zone if it doesn't go all the way down. So yeah, I feel like this is the way we have to do this. Of course, it throws, you know, with Tennessee and just the way the states are naturally are kind of odd for this kind of division here. I mean, I think this is what we're going to do. This is going to be the buffer zone. That is actually fair. This is more territory than the British actually took, if you don't count what I messed up over here. As far as this territory, I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do with that just yet. And as far as what the British or the Americans are going to be here, they could just be a puppet. Because I don't think we can, like, liberate them. Yeah, there's no real way to liberate them, so they'll just have to be a puppet. So we'll go ahead and do that. Though, let me make sure... Yep, there is still an island we didn't take. The Lion Islands. We never did take control of those. The Lion Islands are down here. Here we go. I know where they're at. So yeah, we'll go ahead and take the Lion Islands. We'll make sure that they don't get that. Wake Island. Apparently I didn't take Wake Island either. I could have swore I did take Wake Island. Okay, well, whatever. Apparently I did not. So let's go ahead and take that. And Guam? What the hell? I know I took... Maybe I didn't, guys. I could have swore I would dip through here and took all the islands. Apparently not. Is there anything else? Okay, there's nothing else. So let's go ahead and puppet the Americans now. And we're going to end our turn at that, so we can kind of see how this looks. Now, obviously, you know, disregard the Sri Lanka issue here. And now we just got to figure out who we're going to give this territory to. I kind of feel like the Americans should have it. Yeah, I kind of just want to give it to them. To have a full buffer zone that goes all the way across. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and give that to the Americans. Even though it's Canada. And other than that, are we done? No, we are not done. We haven't dealt with Peru yet, because we got to give that to Chile. So let's go ahead and give that to Chile. And then the Philippines. We never dealt with the Philippines. Okay, I didn't realize that. Apparently I just missed a lot of stuff over here. so focused on the American situation. All right, so I think, nope, that's right. There was some territory here. Bangladesh did join the American faction. They were the only ones that did, but they did join the American faction. All right, so let's go to enter turn. It does look like there's a little patch of territory. That's right, there's the little island we never took. And that should be everything. And then, of course, I got to fix the borders here. But look at that. This is beautiful, man. Just beautiful. I like it. All right, so Venezuela got 2 states out of that. Brazil, excuse me, 6 states. Brazil got 2 states. Britain got 11. We got 69, only fitting. Dominican Republic got 1. Sri Lanka got 7. And then, yeah, you can see everybody was annexed. So we got to fix this. So I'm going to go ahead and do that in the console right now. All right, there we go. It is fixed. I know some people probably would have got a real kick if I had left that as is with Sri Lanka owning all that territory. But yeah, we've got it fixed here, guys, and this is the way it looks. This is our kind of man in the high castle reverse situation. So we've got the Free American Empire here, which is, of course, a fascist country underneath the Silver Legion of America, which is going to be our buffer state in between me and Britain. While Britain has the entire East Coast. Kind of reminds of our Call of War series. And this is like, wow, I didn't even realize this. This is basically my borders in America of the Call of War series. I think I have, I want to say I have this territory. I don't remember if I got this. I want to say I got all of Alabama. Maybe not. I don't know if I got that or somebody else did. But basically, this is my borders here. I even have Cuba, now given I do have all the Caribbean. But yeah, this is like my borders for America anyway. Obviously, I've extended my borders outside of there, which you'll see into today's video. But yeah, this is my Call of War borders. I didn't even mean to do that like that. Just kind of was fitting. Well, let me take that back. I did take over all this territory, don't I? Yeah, I do have. I do have all this territory here now that I think about it. Yeah, I know I have Indiana and Ohio and perhaps Michigan as well, yeah. You guys don't care about that. This is the borders. This is the way it looks, and it is glorious, man. Look at that. It's such a bummer that this didn't work out. Just really frustrating because, of course, the reason why it didn't work out is because this isn't working properly, man. Not at all. It's just not the damn Lend-Lease isn't working. I don't know like what the deal is here. But yeah, it's just not sending the equipment like it's supposed to. You can see that we've done it multiple times, and it always says it's going to send any moment, and it doesn't. And we're sitting here, we haven't got a single point from Lend-Leasing. Not one point. Half of our points are from the suppressed subjects being on here, while the other half of the points is from the building in their territory. So yeah, it's a real bummer we didn't get them annexed, but you could just imagine what it looks like annexed. I guess they were loyal puppets this whole time, so these guys threatened going free. They went down that branch, but then they never did the Independence War for whatever reason. They just never decided to do it. Maybe they didn't feel safe in doing so. Maybe because I moved all their units out, so they just they didn't have any troops at home. So the AI knew not to try and do the rebellion. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, they never did the rebellion. So yeah, we got control of pretty much all of Asia here. We know we didn't go into Iran like I had discussed possibly doing, but we ended up not going into Iran, and that's fine. Now, it was a bummer we didn't get control of all this because of the British joining the Axis. And as I've said multiple times in the series, this is, I think, the perfect example for why I control everything that happens, for the most part, usually. I try and control the AI behavior before we start a campaign, when we do the settings for the national focus tree. This is why I do it. I have consistently had people ask me on videos, like, why do you not just leave it on the default setting? You never do it with a default setting. I always either do where I specifically decide which way everybody goes so that we have a nice setup, a challenging setup, or I put it on historical and we do the historical AI focuses on. I always do one of those two, and this is why. Because if you don't control it, then you get a situation where you really, really want to fight the British here. You want to do that, but then they join the Axis and they join your allies, the Germans. We knew we were gonna. I said from the very beginning that we were gonna try and be friendly with Germany, and we were also gonna be friendly with Italy, but of course they went their own way there. And it does. I will admit that when you have it set to that, or even better, have it set on the random setting, you do get that unpredictability, which is really fun, not knowing which way the AI is going to go. And when it goes against you, it's even funner because your plans get ruined, and things get more challenging because the AI didn't go the way you expected or planned them to. But sometimes they go the other way where your plans are ruined, but it's actually easier, and that's what ended up happening here. With the British joining the Axis, that resulted in us not being able to get this territory, which of course these would have been so helpful to have these resources. Now, given we did get quite a few resources from conquering the Dutch East Indies, and we were never really short rubber or tungsten for that matter. The aluminum would have been nice. We were short on that for a little while. But yeah, I would say that we didn't really need the resources here. I guess the extra oil here would have been nice. We were always kind of running short on oil, so that would have been nice, getting the oil from Borneo. But other than that, I mean, nothing else was really impacted there. We probably would have conquered Australia and New Zealand as well. And a lot of people have wanted me to fight the Axis next. And again, that was outside of the parameters for this, the goals, I should say, for this campaign. We were always just supposed to be conquering Asia and the Americans. So that was supposed to be the big conflict, was against America. And so it's outside of the goals of this campaign, and most importantly, this is already a long campaign. We're moving towards 30 episodes, and as I've mentioned in previous videos, I'm trying to make it so my series are like 20-something videos. That's what I want to have them around. Like the low 20s, preferably low mid 20s. So we've already gone above that, longer than that, and we have other series I'd like to do. So that's the reason why we're not going to fight them, because this is outside of the goals of the campaign. The campaign's already really long, and the reason why I've done that is one, I find that fighting every single major country, every single campaign is very time consuming, takes a long time. You end up having, every series is 30 something, 40 something, maybe 50 something videos. And then I notice that viewers lose interest the longer the series goes. So you get less and less views per video. So that's the reason why I'm doing it. I've noticed that my views, ever since I started doing this last year, where I started having more focused campaigns, where I have a goal, and then we do that goal, and then we don't go any further unless it makes sense to, unless it feels like we have to or whatever, like somebody declared war on us or something like that. That's just, keeping it to those goals has resulted in a lot more views. People stick around longer. People watch the full series longer. Then when the next series starts, they are there for that next series because they didn't leave the channel to go watch another channel because they were bored with the campaign that I was doing. And then they missed the start of the new campaign, which seemed to happen quite a bit. I just noticed overall that the channel has done a lot better. Now, given you always do better as the years go, as you progress and get bigger, your channel gets bigger. But I noticed a direct correlation between when I started doing this with my campaigns and the views. So I feel like it's for the best. So that's the reason why I do that, guys. I just want to make that clear because I know a lot of people want me to fight the Axis, or at least that seemed to be the general consensus in the comments. That's the reason why, guys. That's because, not every campaign needs to be a world conquest. Not every campaign needs we don't need to fight everybody. I feel like this is good. We did quite a bit here. Look at this. This is glorious. It's beautiful. Now this bothers me. It's a little sore spot right here. But yeah, I really felt like, I should prioritize that a bit more, I suppose, getting those guys annexed. But yeah, overall, went good. It was a good campaign. I had fun. Even if, certain things didn't go the way we wanted them to. And it was supposed to be a naval-focused campaign, and we didn't have any naval battles big naval battles, until like the very end of the campaign. Up here, against the Americans along the Mexican coast, when at that point it was already over. That's when we finally got the naval battle. So it's unfortunate. That happened in the last Japanese series too. I find myself having a lot of difficulty getting the AI to engage me in naval battles sometimes. It seems like I just can't get the big battles that I want. And typically I just have to defeat their navy with bombing them with my planes. Just seems to be what always happens in these campaigns, unfortunately. But yeah, it was a good campaign, and this looks glorious, man. I like it. I like the little buffer state we created here. It looks nice, I feel. This state right here for Northern Ontario is always going to be kind of problematic. I almost feel like maybe I should have gave this state to the Americans, Northeastern Canada. Suppose that probably would have looked a little bit better, perhaps, if I had done it that way, and maybe I should have. Maybe we would change that up. I really like here you have Vanguard Chile. which is a great name, along almost the entire Pacific coast of South America. This is great. I love this. It's very snaky looking. It's Chile is already like, so I love that. Of course, we got Venezuela here just dominating the northwest part of South America. That's great. Of course, you know, Haiti's now in the Dominican Republic. Yeah, I like this. I like the way it looks, guys. It looks nice. And again, I like how the British borders kind of do fit with my Call of War borders a little bit. Again, I have a little bit more territory than this, but and they're even a similar color, which is really cool too. So yeah, I like that. So that's the end of the campaign, guys. End of the series. And this is the part of the video where I talk about what we're going to be doing next. So as I've mentioned in the beginning of the video, and as you may have already seen, since the video is already out, I've already started the next series. And that's because I expected this one to be done by now, but again, this one was a bit longer than expected. We were supposed to start this next series, which is, again, with the Strategic Mine Blitzkrieg game. That was supposed to start last week. I thought this series would have been done, but this series did carry on a little bit longer than expected. Not as far as like videos wise, I guess it was a couple more videos than I expected. But we had so many like delays where I didn't put videos out because of different things that were happening and just being busy. And so this series went on longer, again, not video number wise, but just time wise, much longer than I had expected. So we're starting that Blitzkrieg series a week late, which is really unfortunate because I had it kind of timed, you know, just perfect, I feel, for what my plan was for this next month or so. So that's a little bit unfortunate. It's probably going to impact that series a bit because of how long this one went, because of all those days I missed putting videos up. So that is the next series, guys. That means we're not starting a Hearts of Iron 4 series right after this. We're going to play that because, again, I really like those games. I think it's a nice change of pace, too, with the turn base. And it's just a fun game. I like those. They're, you know, turn-based World War II strategy games that are kind of like spiritual successors, the Panzer General series, which, if you didn't know, was the first strategy game I ever played. Panzer General on the PlayStation 1 back in the 90s, and it's really what got me into strategy games. So I'm a big fan of those style of games, those Panzer General successor style games, which these are definitely not the only ones. There's quite a few of them. Panzer Corps 1 and 2 would be other games that are, you know, successor styles. And this one's like a 3D version of Panzer General. And we've already played 2 of the previous games. We did Panzer Strategy, which was the first game of theirs. And it had some problems. I think that was the longest series we did with their games. We played, I don't remember how far we got. I think we went through the conquest of France. I'm pretty sure we did that. I don't think we did yeah, that's right. We weren't able to do Operation Sea Lion because it wasn't working anymore. Because I had so many patches that the game just didn't work. My save file didn't work anymore. So we ended up ending it for that reason, which was kind of a shame because a lot of people were really enjoying that series. And that was the only series of those games that has done well in views too. So that was kind of a bummer. Then I did the Strategic Mine, the Pacific, which was kind of the rebranding of their games. And the Pacific is, again, focuses on the Pacific War. You play as the Americans or the Japanese. We ended up doing the American campaign. And we only did up to Guadalcanal. We finished Guadalcanal. And that's all we did for that one because those scenarios are extremely long. They took forever. I think Guadalcanal was like, what, 5 hours or something like that? I don't know, 6 hours maybe? 5 or 6 hours. It was so long. It was a long scenario. So many videos. And so it wasn't getting any views either. And so I was spending all that time recording it, and very few people were watching. So that's the reason why we didn't go past Guadalcanal, which was unfortunate because I was enjoying that series. But hopefully this one will do a little bit better in views. Maybe go check it out if you've never heard of the Starny Games, their series yet. This is the Blitzkrieg is, you know, taking all the mechanics that have been added in the series in the Pacific one, and you know, adding even more to it, and then taking it into the European theater, European North African theater. So you're playing as the Germans, of course, and you start with the first scenario, the one that the video will be up for, is the Spanish Civil War. That's where it starts, in the Spanish Civil War, and the Germans helping out in there. Obviously not quite realistic the way it's done to how the Germans actually, the role they actually played in the Spanish Civil War, but still fun. It's fun that they start with that rather than with the invasion of Poland, as most games start with. And then the second scenario is the invasion of Poland, of course. So it's a really fun game. I really like it quite a bit. Very, very challenging game. If you never checked it out, maybe go check out that series, because again, that's what we're going to be playing over the next couple weeks until the next series starts, which is going to be Europa Universalis 4. So many people have asked me about playing EU4. We played once in, when was that, 2018, I think is when we did that English campaign. And it was with, I don't know, I think it was one of the new expansions or patches that came out. Now, if you didn't know, EU4 used to be my favorite Paradox game before HOI4 came out. I absolutely loved EU4. Big fan, played hundreds of hours in the game. And then I just started kind of having a falling out with it. I just didn't like what the developers were doing with it. They had a lot of DLCs that came out that were just trash. Mare Nostrum was absolute garbage. That is a garbage DLC. That's one of the worst DLCs Paradox has ever made. And then they made that garbage Spanish one more recently. Oh man, that was terrible too. Like, it's just been, Paradox fell off like hardcore with that game. And they just took it in a different direction. I mean, you see in that campaign as I was playing it, I was showing kind of some of the issues I had with it. Like the mercenary system was still the same mercenary system they'd had in it for a while, where it's just manpower is irrelevant, your own units are irrelevant, nothing matters, just all you need is gold. Just get gold and then buy like a whole bunch of mercenaries, and then you're gonna win every war. Like, that's what it comes down to. And you could argue, oh well, realism, if you had a lot of money, because gold is what wins wars. If you had a lot of money and you could pay for all these mercenaries, then you'd be able to win wars. Now, of course, I would say there's more to it than that. But you have a valid argument in some sense there, but at the same time, that doesn't make for fun gameplay. So, not having to use any of your own men, which isn't realistic for most countries. Mercenaries were, for most countries, and there were different periods, of course, in the EU4 modern period where mercenaries did dominate, where they were key. But in many wars throughout the early modern period, especially the later period, they were using their national armies. They were using their they might not have been standing armies. Standing armies didn't start developing until the end of that period. The 17th and 18th century is really when you started seeing more standing armies for most countries. But again, none of that's represented because you just use mercenaries until the end of the game, because why would you not? Why mess with manpower and all that stuff? I mean, you might build the units, certainly use them, but then when it really comes down to it in a long conflict, you're going to use mercenaries and you rely on them, and you use mostly them. And it's just, there wasn't any penalty to using them. They were just fine in combat. They're expensive, of course, but I mean, they did fine in combat. They weren't as expensive as they should have been. And again, not really any penalty for using. None of the historical reasons why mercenaries were bad. Like, there were certain aspects that made mercenaries difficult to use, and reasons why you would use some of your own men in your country. None of that's represented, so you can use mercenaries for the entire game. So had an issue with that, and that never got fixed, and now that has been fixed. They have a whole new mercenary system where you're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to just be able to spam out insane amounts of mercenaries. And that's the other thing, is like, you never ran out of mercenaries in the previous version of the game. That's been fixed. So they changed it up. I haven't played with it yet, so I can't say if it actually fixes things, but I'm excited to check it out. They changed so much with this patch. So I'm really excited to check it out and to see if it makes EU4 into a game I can enjoy again, because I have not liked that game for a long time. Years. I have not played it regularly. Outside of that series we did in EU4, I did that one series in 2018 of EU4. Outside of that, I have not played the game since 2000... Shit, I don't even know, man. 2016, 2015? I don't know. It's been, somewhere around there. We did that one series, and other than that, I have not played that game, because I just don't like it. Yeah, I want to say 2015 was the last time I played it, other than that one series. So jumping back into E4, my old favorite Paradox game, and we're gonna see if they've made it into a good game, and it's something that I want to continue to play. So I'm really hoping so, because if y'all didn't know, the early modern period is my favorite historical period, and that is also what my degree is in. When I got my history degree is focused on early modern European history. Not World War II. I actually didn't take much on World War II at all. I think I did one class about World War II. in my whole university career. Whole time at university, I did one class on World War II, so it's really not my specialty. Just really not my area of expertise. It was the area that got me into history way back when I was a youngin', and I used to read a lot about it then. I used to study a lot back then, but that was like decades ago, multiple decades. So it's been a long time since I was really into World War II history. So that's why I don't talk about it much. If you've watched any of my series that are in time periods that I have degrees in and I'm very knowledgeable of, I spend a lot of time talking about the history, whether it's the Middle Ages. I'll spend a bit of time on that when we play CK2 and when we play CK3, which a lot of people have asked me about. And yes, we will be playing Crusader Kings 3 when it comes out in September. Most definitely, I'm super excited for that. But yeah, when we play those series, I delve into the history of characters and different mechanics and how they fit with history and whatnot. I'll discuss that in the CK2. When we play DU4, I'll talk about the history there. Imperial Rome was just packed full of historical notes. I think I spent a little bit too much time talking about history in that one, where I'd have like 15-20 minutes in a video just talking about history. So you see in those games, I really delve into like the historical backgrounds of characters and countries and events that happened. And you don't really see that much in HOI4. I don't talk about it a whole lot, because while I'm knowledgeable about it, I know that there's a lot of people out there in the comments that are more knowledgeable than me, and I feel like I'm preaching to people about something that they trying to teach people something that they know more than I do about. That seems odd to me, so I don't talk about it all that much. And frankly, because when it comes to the nitty-gritty details, I wouldn't call myself super familiar with a lot of those. So that's the reason why I don't really talk about the history much in this, just a bit. Because again, I would say I'm fairly familiar with World War II history, but I wouldn't say I'm as informed as some of you guys. Some of you guys are really into World War II history. So despite the fact that this is my favorite Paradox game right now, it's not my favorite time period. Not at all. Not even remotely close. I prefer older history, honestly. I don't even read that much about World War II anymore. Every once in a while. I read a book not that long ago that focused on all the naval aspects of World War II. All the battles and the technology and just the all the different commanders. And I really enjoyed that book. It was a lot of fun reading that. Touched on some stuff I was previously ignorant of. And other than that, though, I have not read like a World War II history book in a very long time. I don't really study the period anymore. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to jumping in that E4 is what I'm getting at. I'm super excited because, again, it's my time period, man. So we'll have a little bit of history in there, talking about different things. I'll try to be a little bit better about not getting out of control with it. Just like little stuff that I'll try and sprinkle in on that one, rather than with the Imperial Rome where, it was like basically a damn history lecture through some of those videos. So I'll try and be better about it in this one. But yeah, excited for the E4. And that'll be, I think June 9th is when it comes out. I'm hoping to get it early. So let's just say early June is when that series is going to be starting. And then I don't know what we'll do with the Blitzkrieg game yet, and how far that'll go. It'll really depend on the views, because again, it was supposed to be timed so that we'd be pretty close to finishing that series when E4 came out, but then this series went a week longer than I expected, so it kind of threw things into flux a little bit, kind of messed up what my intended schedule was. So yeah, that's the plan, guys. And I think the big question here is going to be, when do we come back to Hearts of Iron 4, since we're doing the Blitzkrieg game, and then we're doing EU4 after that. HOI4 would be after the EU4 series ended, or maybe as it was winding down, if we wanted to switch that series over to every other day and then start a new HOI4 series, as we've done with, we did that with the Portuguese series just recently, since we were doing that and the French one at the same time. So maybe we'll do that, and then allow us to start a HOI4 series sooner. But yeah, that's the plan, guys. And then the next HOI4 series would probably be with vanilla. One more campaign with vanilla, guys. Try and do several series once a new expansion comes out with vanilla, since that seems to be what the demand is for when it comes to views. So we'll do one more vanilla campaign, which again, I've already discussed what those campaigns are that I'm looking to do this year, and it would be one of those three. So either Mexico, the Hungarians, or a democratic United States. Those are the three campaigns that I want to do this year, most definitely in vanilla. So it's going to be one of those III. And then after that, the next HOI IV campaign, which again, I don't know if it'd be directly after that one, but if it was, then whenever that is, the next HOI IV campaign would be with the mod. Haven't decided on mod yet. There's a lot of choices. I know a lot of people have been asking for Kaiserreich, so maybe that would be what we play. There's other options as well. Frankly, I really liked our Führerreich campaign. I felt Führerreich was better than Kaiserreich in my opinion. I like that one a lot. But we haven't played Kaiserreich in a long time, so maybe we would do that. I think the last one we did was France. I believe that was the last Kaiserreich campaign we did. So we could do Kaiserreich. There's also, I probably won't do the Great War mod. And a lot of people ask me about that. I did not like it, guys. When we did the Ottomans, now maybe it has changed a bit. Maybe they've improved it. But when we played it, I did not like it. I felt like, one, it was extremely unbalanced, which everybody told me in the comments that it would be. And everybody's saying, oh, don't join the Axis, or I said the Axis, don't join the Central Powers. Because if you join the Central Powers, you're going to be done for, because the Central Powers lose every time. And I was like, oh, well, it's fine, and we'll help them out. I had no idea how bad it was. Germany was ready to capitulate in like weeks or months or something. I don't know how long it was, but it was very, very quick into the war. And we had to go save their butts as the Ottomans. We had to race up there to stop them from capitulating, which was ridiculous. The Germans just got knocked out so quick. It was so unbalanced. And then it was extremely railroaded, where the events that are happening in the war in your campaign are absolutely irrelevant. So like as the Ottomans, we had won the war in the Balkans, yet the Italians still attacked us. A big part of the reason why Italy attacked the Ottomans historically to get Libya was because they had lost in the Balkans. So they looked, the sick man of Europe, looked weak. So they knew that they'd be able to seize control of that, and the Ottomans wouldn't be able to do much about it. If we won the war and conquered all this territory, Italy's not going to attack us. That's ridiculous. But the mod didn't even register that fact that we had won the war when we were invading the Russians. Now, Austria-Hungary did a little bit on that fight against the Russians, but we did the majority of it. We defeated the Russians, not the Germans. The Germans just lost the Russians. They didn't do anything. And yet a peace treaty fired and gave the Germans everything. They did the historical peace treaty. So Russia got pushed back, and the Germans got all that territory, and we got nothing, despite the fact that we won the war. That was extremely frustrating. And then when the whole thing was over, another event fired to set up Europe as if the Allies had won, despite the fact that the Central Powers had won. So yeah, really, really railroaded. Made no sense. I did not like that. And then most importantly, the mod does absolutely nothing to make it feel like World War I, in my opinion. Planes still dominate. I mean, I was still able to sink, the Allied Navy using naval bombers. Not very realistic. That I'm able to sink almost the entire Allied Navy using naval bombers in World War I. They still just dominated in the war in a way that just didn't make sense for World War I. Then the trench warfare just wasn't represented. I know the trench warfare wasn't the case on the Eastern Front, but it was important on the Western Front, and it just wasn't represented in the game. They add these trenches in there, but they take almost as long to build as a fort. Like, they take so long to build. Some of the later levels, I think, took longer than forts. I mean, it just didn't make any sense. You're better off building forts. In fact, when we looked at the construction time to the modifiers you're getting, the fortifications were way better. Way better. So there's no reason to ever build the trenches. The trenches were garbage, and they just took too long to build, frankly. It didn't really make a whole lot of sense that it takes so long to just build a trench. I used to be a soldier. We could build a trench, a very good trench, in a day. And then some of the more detailed ones, maybe a couple weeks. It certainly didn't take 6 months to build a trench system. I mean, again, they did get very elaborate in World War I, and some of those did take a bit longer. But again, still, I don't think 6 months is realistic, or a year, however long it took to build all those trenches up. So yeah, it just didn't represent trench warfare. Still had the equipment from, that fit more with World War II, I feel. And so yeah, we won't be playing the Great War mod. But yeah, we'll play it with a mod, guys. I'll look at all the different choices. I know there's a lot of options, a lot of things people have asked me to play. And maybe we'll have a patron vote for that. I think that's probably what we'd do. We'd probably have a patron vote for which mod we are going to play. I think that's the best way to do it. But again, that modded campaign won't be for quite a while because, I see the earliest being August, probably. And if it gets too far beyond that, but then you got CK3 coming out, so we'd play that. So I don't know when the modded campaign will be, but it's going to be a while, guys. We got a lot of stuff we're going to play in between them. So that's going to be the end of this one, guys. I had fun. It's a good campaign, even if we did have some issues, with like the British not joining the Allies, or there being no Allies. So that was unfortunate, but overall, I had fun. It was a good campaign. And we got a little bit of a challenge with the invasion of America, so that was fun too. I was glad that they provided a challenge here at the end, and we didn't just roll over them real quickly. So yeah, this was fun. I like the way the map looks for the most part. And yeah, we're going to end it here. Hope you guys did enjoy the series. If you did, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. I do read and reply to all your comments. Love hearing you guys' feedback. If you're looking for anything to watch, remember you can check out the front page of our channel. We have 3,000 something videos all sorted by genre, including a whole section just for HOI IV videos. And remember, we have these new series starting. Of course, we got the Call of War video, which is, this last video coming out. It's going to be the end of that series. And then we have the new series with the Strategic Mind Blitzkrieg starting here. And then we'll have the HOI IV series here in a couple weeks. So maybe go check out one of those, or check out one of the old HOI IV campaigns. If you're looking for any links, check down in the description of any of our videos. You'll find links to our PayPal and Patreon if you'd like to help support the channel, as well as links to our Discord if you'd like to join our community. And finally, links to all of our social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. If you'd like to follow us on there. So do hope to see you guys on one of those other series. If you're a person who just watches HOI IV and that's it, then I guess we'll see you on the next HOI IV campaign, which again probably won't be for a while. Just based on how long I think the HOI IV series would go, I think it'd probably be through much of June. Maybe we'd start a HOI IV campaign at the end of June. Maybe. Maybe it'd be early July. Somewhere around there is when I'd expect the next HOI IV campaign to be. So it's going to be a while, guys. So I'll see you on that one if you don't watch any of those other series. Yeah, this was a fun campaign for me, so I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And again, I do hope to see you guys on another video. And thanks for watching.